The presidents of China and the U.S. are making big promises about the climate at the UN. Xi Jinping told world leaders via remote that China would no longer build coal-fired power plants in other countries. Meanwhile, Joe Biden has pledged to work to double U.S. climate funding for developing nations by 2024. A report out Wednesday puts those pledges and others like it in question. According to an analysis by Climate Action Tracker, not a single major world economy has a plan that meets its 2015 Paris Agreement obligations to contain global warming. And in 2009, in Copenhagen, the world's rich countries pledged to raise $100 billion of yearly climate assistance to developing countries by 2020. And according to the OECD, they fell more than $20 billion short of that goal in 2019. So pledges are one thing. They often make big headlines, but then it's a question of whether or not they follow through on those promises. Krista Mikkonen is the Finnish Minister of Environment and Climate Change. Thank you very much for joining us. So when you hear these pledges and these promises at the UN, how hopeful are you that they'll become reality?
Well, I was happy to hear these promises. But like you said, of course, there's a promises, and now we really need to see the action. But the China's promise to not finance the coal power outside China is great, and I just hope they can make and keep the same promise domestically. And of course, I welcome US to finance the climate money for developing countries. That's very important. At the moment, EU is the biggest donor, but we really need other countries to join in.
I wonder, what do you think it's going to take real climate action, the kind that we need to limit the Earth's warming in a way that won't lead to catastrophic weather events and health problems? What will it take fundamentally? Because as you know, politicians, they have short-term horizons usually. They need to get reelected. It's expensive and usually unpopular to put curbs on economic activity if your goal is to, make it into office again.
Well, I think one thing is that all the consequences we already see is one key, because the people really understand that we need to do more. We really need to reduce the emission fast. And like last summer, the fires in Canada, the floods in Europe, very big heat, long periods also in Finland. It's For people, it seems that the climate change is not just something somewhere, it's here with us. And they are asking us to make more. And I think that's very important. And now we as a politician, we need to have this courage to do the climate actions and do it more and do it faster than we have done.
Right. And young people obviously are passionate, many of them. They vote. And so we'll see if that perhaps has an impact. Europe is experiencing a big fuel crisis right now. How is it impacting your country?
Um, well, in Finland and also in Europe now, the price for the energy is growing, and there's a many reasons. One is that after the COVID pandemic, the economy is growing and there's more demand. And one is that still a lot of energy to EU comes from outside from the EU, and also this price of the fossil has grown. But I think now we all understand that we need to invest more in renewable energy sources, and that's the big opportunity for all the countries.
But there's an immediate need, and Russia is being urged to pump more gas. What do you make of that possible solution to the problem right now?
At the moment, EU is buying a lot of energy from Russia. And when the EU can have its own energy, more and more, and renewable energy, that's also the one solution. Then we don't need to buy energy from Russia, and we can have the own cleaner energy, and that's one big thing. And at the moment, when we are recovering from the pandemic, we also have these big economic recovery packages, and this is now the moment to invest to the clean renewable energy solutions, and that's very important that we are really now doing that job.
All right, Krista Mikkonen, the Finnish Minister of Environment and Climate Change. Thank you very much for joining us this evening.